You know, and I let people discourage me from the path of being a teacher. You know. So, I'm showing how serious I can be by studying. Right now, I'm waiting to hear from the praxis people because I had to resubmit some dang documents. Yeah, it does not make sense because I got into accommodations through with Fletcher and Nichols, like through the doctor's note, and that was technically I did it. I know I had a caseworker when I was in Fletcher, but then when I was in Nichols, I didn't have anybody. So I have gotten into the doctor's note, and the doctor had to verify that I was with at the time, had to verify my accommodations. That's what praxis is making people's lives very difficult. Especially, I have autism. Autism's been since day one in my life, and yeah, cause I think this it made better sense if we would have had a um a doctor's note stating the disability. We should have gotten approved. Why make things so difficult than what it really is? But someone has had the diagnosis eons ago. That's my case. So, yeah, I think it's time to take my beef on the internet on this one. Sorry I had to hear that, but I had to let it off my chest. How I really feel about getting accommodations for the praxis exams that I have to take to get my certification done. I hope this is going to make it better. Because look, they should make it simpler. They should make it the fact that the ones that are caring for these adults as their physician, the physician should be able to speak on their behalf. Not, I don't know what they're doing, but most colleges you can get a disability accommodations through a doctor's note and through some form of verification. Uh, yeah, and I did fill out the darn paperwork for it. And I got a darn rejection letter because of lack of documentation. I had to dig through my darn school files to see if I have some of this on hand. Yeah. If I don't hear from the Praxis PLT soon, the ETS crew, I'm gonna give them a phone call and find out what the heck, because I'm trying to register to take the test before the year is up. Sorry, just my allergies, but I wanted to tell you how it feels like being so frustrated and everything. They don't need to make people's lives so much more difficult than what it needs to be. And if I have to, I can get my current person to speak for me too. If that becomes the case, you know. Always got a plan, I'm always gonna fight, but hey, I'm a fighter, that's how it's gonna be. So on with the question. I wanted to I wanted to share this what's going on in my life right now to show. But now question time. Focus mode. Okay. Alright. Alright. Easy peasy questions. And let's see if I can get this part. How many beats does a quarter note get in 4/4 time? Many beats. Okay. Top and bottom. The bottom of the time signature always tells us what what kind of note we're going to use. The top part is, however, it's going to be how many beats part. It's going to be 4. So let's put it that answer is going to be A. And you know 4 for time. It's common time. So there it is. Another interesting question. What is the name of the symbol that raises the pitch by a half step? Oh, I know there's a difference because the flats will lower the pitch by a half a step. So I'm going to say, but that answer is going to be sharp. Which clef is most commonly used for violin music? Treble. How many lines are under standard musical staff? I just answered that one yesterday. I'm going to say 5 lines, 4 spaces. I just answered this one. What is P? Okay, the P. The P in music is piano. The P means it's very dang soft. Actually, yeah, it would be PP if it's very soft. So it's just going to be soft. That's going to be me. Okay, what does the term tempo refer to? Speed. C, speed. If you've been a band nerd like me, you probably heard this so many times in your life. And no matter what level of playing art were you in, and for me I was into, I did elementary, junior high, high school band back in my time. I also did community band before I went into college. And I have heard of all this. When cymbal tells a musician to play softly, then gradually louder. Softly. Okay, you start soft and it gets gradually louder, meaning it's called a crescendo. C. What instrument is part of the woodwind family? Clarinet. B. What instrument uses a double reed? Oboe. Oboe's a double reeded. Oboe is a double reeded instrument. What percussion instrument has a definite pitch? Xylophone. And on keyboards is a definite dang pitch. Let's put that nice term. Who is a famous composer from the classical period? Mozart. Which period is known for ordinate melodies and counterpoint? Wait, yeah, that's right. Baroque. Which? Okay. Alright. Spirituals and blues are important roots of what musical style? Spiritual roots. Okay, so spiritual roots has to do with something called jazz. If you read the jazz history book from Dr. Ath's class, you should know the answer to that question by now. And yeah, I had to take history of jazz music in my last year. So bingo, that answer is A. So I hope you didn't mind me calling professors out and singling them out in a good way. Because, you know what? It's good. It encourages them. As I think. What does a conductor primarily control? A very good, interesting question, but I have taken conducting classes by Dr. Ladd. Because there was a... okay, let me explain how the music course is at Nichols for the conducting people. If you're an instrumentalist, let's say you have studied and you register for instrumental, you're going to take instrumental conducting as your second conducting. The first one is general, like, because you got... I think it's general because you had, You had your vocal majors and your instrumentals in the first conducting class. The second conducting separates, like really separates, because you have instrumental with an instrumental person and you had a vocal conducting with a vocal person, a vocal instructor. So I'm going to say in my best knowledge when I took my two classes, we are in control of tempo because we are the metronome at this rate, so I'm going to say that answer. Which voice type is typically the highest? I'm going to sharply say SATB, soprano, alto, tenor, bass. Bass is the lowest, so that is definitely out of my question. Tenor is definitely not in the question, because even though it's the highest male voice, but it's still not the highest of all. Alto, you are the lower of the female voices, but that's not even it. But I'm going to say D because soprano is the highest. Soprano voices is the highest of the four voices. Repeat it. Soprano is the highest of the four voices. Then the next is the alto. That's the lower of the female voices. But it's not the lowest. Then the tenors. You're the highest of the male voices, but you're definitely not the lowest. You're definitely not the highest. And the factors, the basses, you're the lowest range of everybody. So I'm going to say soprano being the highest. I'm all right. Okay, I'm going to make this batch very interesting. I'm going to do listening style questions. Just to guess it. That's what we got. Listening style questions are a big part of Practice 5113. Before easy test style listening questions written the same way as the single phrases do. You hear a steady beat where each measure feels like one strong beat and two weaker beats. If I had 1, 2, 3, okay, it says one strong beat, which I'm going to say if it refers to a downbeat, that is your strong beat. That means how it goes down, that's a downbeat. Two weaker beats going into the other count. 1, then 2 weak beats. I'm going to say, well, I'm going to actually say, honestly, that's not too for because you have a strong and a weak. That is not A. B seems more like it because the B, you have a strong beat and a strong dang downbeat. You got two weaker beats, it would fall into 3-4. 4-4. You got one strong beat and 4-4. And you got 3 weak beats after that. No. And it's definitely not 6-8 either. So I'm going to say strongly B. The music sounds like it has 2 beats per measure, when the first beat is strong. Which time signature is mostly light? I just went over this question just now. So 2 strong beats. Just 2 beats per measure okay, so it means a strong and a weak. When it's a strong and a weak, then it goes to 2-4, that is going to be C. The music begins softly and gradually becomes louder. What? Crescendo, just answered it. The tempo is the extra from slow and relaxed. What is about slow and relaxed is largo. Because the rest of these guys are fast. Like Allegro's fast is 120 to 168. Presto is above Allegro. Dante is not 76 to about 90. That's a Dante. But I'm gonna have to say Largo, which is the slowest. You hear one melody line played alone with no harmony. And I think my teacher has gotten over this so many times. If it's no melody accompaniment, it's monophonic because mono is one, so there it goes. You hear a melody with chordal accompaniment with the singer and piano chords. What texture is it? Homophonic. You hear a bright pitched instrument playing smoothly with no reed sound. What is the instrument? Flute. I'm just gonna guess flute on this one. You hear a brassy, bold sound capable of playing loudly. What instrument? Brass. I'm gonna say brasses. Music features a harpsichord, steady rhythm, and multiple independent melodic lines. What is Baroque? Baroque is the period because Baroque had, which is known as a harpsichord. The music sounds emotional with dynamic contrast and a lush orchestra. Emotional. Okay, so it makes it emotional would be romantic. When you hear a section of music label following a okay, so exposition, which is going to be my A. Okay, the development goes into B, which is, and it goes to recapitulation as ternary, C. You hear a melody repeated several times with a change in rhythm in instrument. If it repeats itself, I'm going to say stropic. C. D. Okay, I had just one wrong so far. What about the one I'm doubting myself? Number 7. Let's check that one. I had it right. Okay, let's do some medium theory questions. Let's make this very interesting. Okay, answered it. What is the key of 3 flats in the key signature? B, E, A, E flat. Relative, okay, what is the relative minor of G? E minor. Which scale uses pattern whole, half, whole, half, whole? Whole, half, half, whole, minor. I know it's a minor. Okay, wait. Whole, half, half, whole. Okay, so alright. No, that's not chromatic. I don't think it's major. They've taxed it on to. Alright. Okay. So whole, half, whole, half. Okay, so if my first scale degree is whole, half will be 2, whole is 3, 4 is whole, 5, wait, this is, alright, whole, half. I would say, alright, Okay, if I get a little stumped, I'm going to honestly say B for 3. Let me see. C. How is it C? Shoot. Wait a minute. Major? Okay, no. Oh, wait a minute. That stumped me. How's this C major? Okay, that's a good stumper. Wait a minute. Whole, half, whole, half. Wait a minute. That's a big question mark, because no. Whole, half, whole, half should have been major. I would just screw that answer. Okay, well. What intervals form C and A flat? C and A flat. If C and A is a 6, a major 6, but then if I put my flat in there, it's going to create a minor 6, that's going to be 4. A. Let's see. Be nosy. Yeah, oh, yeah, I was thinking it right. Okay, what interval is considered dissonant? Dissonant. Okay, what intervals are considered dissonant? A tritone? Yeah, I had that one right. Okay, so what chord makes a D major triad? Okay, a major triad starts with the root, starts with D. Then it goes to a major third, that is going to be the F sharp. Then it's going to go to another major third going with A, but the A and the D has to be a perfect fifth, so that is going to be B. A chord built on the fifth scale degree of a major key is the dominant. Which chord appears on the seventh scale in a major key? Diminished. Which cadence sounds the most final or complete? Authentic. Which cadence is on the dominant chord? Half cadence. What is the time signature represents a compound meter? 6/8. In 6/8 time, how many beats are typically felt? 2. Music multiple independent lines occur simultaneously, which would be polyphonic. A piece that alternates between main theme and a contrasting A rondo. Because there's a 5-part rondo and there's a 7-part rondo. ABACA is the 5-part. ABACADA would put it to 7 parts. What is the function of a natural sign? The natural sign, if you've had basic, instrumental, vocal, or piano, if you had this at the basic level, I'm going to say it this way. It cancels a sharp or a flat within the measure. So that is going to be C. I'm going to do a heart theory mode. Heart theory. There we go. Heart theory mode activated. Okay, some interesting ones. In the key of E flat major, what chord is 4? Oh, no, 6. No, it's 6. O-I-V, 6. Okay. I'm gonna say, I already know this one. It's gonna be, since 6 is minor in a major key, I'm gonna say for the sake of E flat, I'm gonna shout it is D. That E flat major is and the 6th of the E flat major is C minor. Put it at D. Which Roman numeral represents a diminished triad in a major key? D is in a minor key. The dominant chord typically made by a dominant chord. You raise something. Okay. If you were taught this in your Theory 1 class with Dr. Swihart, I know he preached this question to the depths. And I know he helped me on this too when I was struggling. So guess really what? Dr. Swihart, if you're listening on this video, yes, I'm talking about you. And if you were in this room seeing this question appear like this, I'm going to say positively, in a minor chord, dominant keys made major by you're raising something. Okay. So dominant key. So if I remembered that one, C minor, you raise up something else. So raising scale degree, you raise it. Okay, raising. Okay, wait a minute. Thinking about the minor key. So if I had C minor, let's say I go into have a G dominant, so something has to change to make her major. And then I raise it on. Okay, I'm gonna say it if I'm wrong. Just cue me out on this one. Just give me a cue. But raising scale degree sub. Okay, this does not make any sense. Something, I think. 3. What 3? What is 3 on the same question? I had it right. It was 7. In the key of C major, what is 5 of 5? Oh shit. 5 of 5. If I go from one to the other, so let's find the 5 of C. The C goes into the 5 of that note. It's going to take me to G. If I'm going to say D major because it's a 5th on top of the 5th. I hope I got it right. Hoping to what answer I went with that one. That would be B. I had it right. Okay, because this is a trick what I learned in my Theory 3 with Dr. Miranda's class. This is going to be funny. Okay, so how I found that answer, and you could do this, and it's called secondary functions, by the way. You go to, if you have a 5 of 5, 5 of 2, 5 of 6, or whatever that stupid thing is, you go to find the first part of it first. Like, I want to show you on paper how I remembered it. It's recollected some memories back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show it to you. Get on to that question. So I got stumbled on this question yesterday. Now this is bringing back some memories. So the 5 of 5 is I'm going to put you. So this is the part I'm going to find first. So I'm going to think, if you're looking at C major, and this goes for anybody, anywhere, so you're going to find him first. So that puts me at G. Then I'm going to come back in here and say, look, the 5 of that 5 is going to be D major. So, okay, so if I did 5 of 6 and put it into another mode, let's say B flat. Okay, so I'll find the 6, and the 6 will be G. Then find the 5 of that, is going to bring me to D. The purpose of the secondary dominant is to temporarily tonic size in another chord. You had it right. Alright. Which note forms a fully diminished seventh built on B? Okay, think about what note is on B. The fullest is the A sharp, I believe. Wait, no, chord built on B. B, D, F, and... Okay, so B, D, F sharp, A sharp makes it major. B, D, F creates a minor. Okay, so I'm gonna say strongly A. Wait. What's it, number 6? Number 6. B. How's it B? Wait a minute. Number 6 is... Oh! To make it a minor... Okay, so F to A was that made... Okay, now I see what it did. Okay, so... You had to create that to be diminished triad in a minor third. Oh. What seventh chord appears naturally on the 5/7 in a major key? Dominant 7th. A modulation in a dominant key from a modulation in a dominant key from the major key commonly moves to, okay, so if it's 5, if it's in the dominant key, it would have to resolve itself to 1, so I'm going to say 8 was, and I had it right, it starts on 5. It commonly moves to 5, it's a common chord. A passage that strongly emphasizes a new key, but later returns to originals known as modulation. Wait, B. Wait. Tonation. Oh. Okay. Which was identical to a major scale with a lower 7th? Okay. Alright, so Lydian? Because I was thinking the only one I think is going to be Lydian that makes sense for 10. C, how? Wait, how is it C? Miss Lydian. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm going to have to recheck that rule because I don't remember it. Okay, which mode is a minor third in array 6? Minor third. Sounds a lot. It's not Aeolian because Aeolian does not follow that rule. It definitely don't sound like Dorian because Dorian, or maybe it could. Minor third in array 6. I'm gonna say if it is anything, I'm gonna say B for number. I had it right. I was just thinking it. A note that is approached by a step and left by a leap is called the... In the opposite direction is called the... neighbor? The 12 is D. How is this D? Appoggiatura. That's what I'm going to have to check that answer off the butt. Note 13's gotta be C, because look, it creates tension by being hung over, it's gonna be suspension. So that's somebody's one I'm to check. What cadence avoids resolution by deceptive? The almond, I think I can answer the almond cadence being 4-1. Come on. If if you have had your theory 2 classes, and I'm probably sure if you had Swihart, he ended with this part right here. And I'll tell you one thing, if you have paid attention to all the darn theory stuff that goes on, you could probably say that legal is the correct answer, because let me tell you why. If you pick up a hymn book or you see hymns on the wall or something like that and it has that full-fledged hymn that has a 4-1 ending, that is legal. That's written in your hymnals. It goes that way.